Don't you hate it when you're in class, teacher's already started their lesson, and midway through, that one kid walks in late? It's the same kid every class, always walks in late. Yeah, that's me. But ironically, I'm going to do this speech on why it's important to be on time. Now, for us college age kids, as we get older and we go from high school and college into the real world, there are consequences for being late and not showing up on time. So it's time to start taking responsibility and start being on time. This is my biggest flaw, so I figured I would do my speech on this. Now, first, your punctuality affects others. Whether you believe it or not, what you do has an effect on others, whether it's, like I said in my example, in a classroom, or whether someone's waiting on you or needs you for something, and then you being late affects what they needed. So when you're on time, people are generally happier. You don't want to waste other people's time. People value their time because time is money. It's a famous quote. Everyone says it. So your punctuality affects others. Next, due dates aren't suggestions anymore. Now, what I mean by this, in high school, many teachers, depending on how strict they are, how much they like you, what subject they teach, different things like that, you can turn things in late and they may not dock you that many points, if any points at all, if they really honestly like you. And when you're a kid in high school and then the teachers like you and you can kind of just skate through that way, it doesn't really help you later because, then you kind of skate through high school, so they didn't really help you in that essence. So due dates aren't really suggestions. You got things like taxes and that you gotta turn in and they gotta be done by a certain date. You gotta pay bills. Turns out if you don't pay your bill for college, that you get dropped from JCC. Before my fall semester, I kept forgetting to tell my mom that we needed to contact JCC and finish my payment plan. And then when she went to log on one day, it said I was no longer a student. And they removed me from all my classes and courses. So that was certainly not a fun experience and a rude awakening to the real world for sure. So you gotta pay attention to due dates, calendars, schedules, start writing stuff down just to stay on top of things so plan ahead, try to give yourself some cushion on either side because things pop up and things happen, so you can't always get your work done when you plan on it. You may need some extra time. It may take longer than you think. Certainly things I have learned. But lastly and most importantly, showing up late just in general won't go unpunished. In high school, my junior year, I finished the school year with a total of 127 tardies. So you would think with all those tardies that something would have been done, the school would have said something, but other than just the teacher complaining and being passive aggressive towards me because they didn't like me, nothing really happened. They kind of I was just allowed to do it. And so that encouraged me to do it more. And because I didn't like the teacher I had first block, it just got worse and we didn't like each other. So it was a huge thing. But in the real world, you can't do that. When I become a phys ed teacher, I can't just be like, oh, I don't want to show up to my first class today. They can just not play basketball or something, or play knockout, or just show up 5 minutes late and expect my kids, like the class, to just sit in the locker room. That's not how like things work. You can't just do that. So um, it's very important to be on time. Time management. It's a very important skill that not a lot of people pay attention to, and it's not really a thing that they teach you kind of in high school, or a thing a lot of people touch on. So personally, because I need to work on it so much, I think that it's extremely important, and I notice it the most. But just the effect you have on others with whether you're on time or not, and then when the real world due dates and just showing up and don't go unpunished. You have to take accountability for your actions. If you show up, if you show up late and something happens, you gotta be prepared for that, because it's your fault and no one else's, no matter what happens. So, thank you for your time.